Welcome to Drink Wine Be Crafty. I'm Megan, and today I'm doing the letter K for my Macrame A to Z series. I am going to try to finish the alphabet quicker, do as many as I can each week so we can knock out the alphabet. So remember to hit the notification bell and subscribe so you can know whenever I put the next letter out. We're going to start by attaching our first color using a vertical double half hitch knot. You need 2 different color ropes for this project. And this is my color 1. It's a little bit of a brownish color. And we're going to do 10 of color 1 for this first row. Now row 2, you will reverse your work and you're going to do 1 of color 1, and after you do 1 of color 1 you're going to add on color 2 and do 2 of color 2, go back to 1, and I'll show you how to do that, and do 4 of color 1, then 2 of color 2 and 1 of color 1. There are a lot of color changes on this letter, or in each row I guess I should say. So add on your color 2 and do 2 of these. Do it the same way you added on the first color, but you're doing it in the opposite direction, so be sure that your tail is going the other direction. And let's do 2 of color 2, and once you finish with this color, you're just going to pick back up the rope that you dropped on color 1, and you do that each time you color change. You're just dropping and then picking the color back up as needed. So let's do this one and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, now that we've finished the first color 2, then you're going to go back to color 1 and then just pull the rope right behind those 2 rows and then tie on your next color 1 and complete this row. Okay, row 3, we are going to reverse our work again and do 1 color 1, 2 color 2, 3 color 1, 3 color 2, and 1 color 1. And row 4 is going to be 2 of color 1, 3 of color 2, 2 of color 1, 2 of color 2, and 1 of color 1. And row 5 is going to be 1 of color 1, 2 of color 2, 1 of color 1, 3 of color 2, and 2 of color 1. Now rows 6 and 7 are the only rows that are on this letter that mirror one another. So for row 6 we're going to do 4 of color 1, 5 of color 2, and 1 of color 1. And then for row 7 we're going to reverse that and do 1 of color 1, 5 of color 2, and 4 of color 1 so they look the same. And I'll need to attach more of my color 1, which is no problem. You can attach more colors or another piece of rope at any point in the projects. So I'm going to attach another piece of color 1, and for row 8 I'm going to do 3 of color 1, 3 of color 2, 1 of color 1, 2 of color 2, and 1 of color 1. Row 9 is 1 of color 1, 2 of color 2, 2 of color 1, 3 of color 2, and 2 of color 1. Row 10 is 1 of color 1, 3 of color 2, 3 of color 1, 2 of color 2, and 1 of color 1. And row 11 is going to be 1 of color 1, 2 of color 2, 4 color 1, 2 color 2, and 1 color 1. We have made it to our final row, row 12, and we're going to do 10 of color 1 to finish the letter K. And guys, this is the first time that I've done a letter and my rope was the exact amount that I needed. I have a lot of rope that I've already cut that I used for these projects, and this time it just so happened that the amount that I used was perfect. So I will put that in the description box below, and remember to subscribe and like and hit the notification bell because I will have another letter out hopefully in the next day or two, but I'm going to definitely keep these letters coming, and I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I'll see you next time.